When Alamos took over the Richmont project, it didn't have more than we have now. And they paid $930 million for that project, which it currently would value us at about $1.50.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm again at PDAC. I'm really happy to talk with Stephen G. Roman, President and CEO of Hard Gold Corporation, which is our favorite gold producer here in North America. And we have been involved for a couple of years now. And as you may recall, I have been on site last October when the company just started and opening the Sugar Zone gold mine in Northern Ontario. And now I want to know what is the progress on site, what is the exploration program for this year, and also the resource update which the company has recently announced. And Stephen will give us a further inside look what's going on with this company. Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
Good morning, Wolfgang. I'm well. It's good to be here again. 2019 PDAC. So we're 3 years, I guess, from the point where we did our initial blast and bulk sample to now declaring commercial production in January. And you were at the mine opening in October. That was very exciting. So as you said, this year we just released our new updated resource. So we grew the overall by another couple 100,000 ounces. We're getting around 1.7 million ounces. With the drilling we did during 2018, but more importantly is we moved a lot of our inferred resources to indicated resources, so much higher confidence level. The grade came up from, in the inferred, we were between 5 and 6 grams. With the additional drilling, it's now over 8 grams, which is consistently the grade between 8 and 9 grams of this mine. So it's a high grade underground gold mine here in Ontario.
And when is your first quarter coming out, meaning in terms of cash flow, production costs, and your success being a commercial operator now with your mine?
So 2019 is a year we're doing a lot of underground development. So our production is supposed to be in the range of 35 to 40,000 ounces this year. Our PEA stipulated 33,000 ounces for 2019. However, we think we'll be able to improve that because our permitting to move to 800 tons per day is progressing very well. In the PEA, we had it coming in at 800 tons in Q4, but it looks like we've moved that up to potentially Q2. So with that additional tonnage throughput, our ounce count will go up this year. Next year is really the big year for us. We get into the better grades, and we've done the development underground to access more stopes. So right now we're mining with 2 stopes, feeding the mill 575 tons a day. And we're augmenting that a little bit with our surface stockpile. So we want to dwindle that stockpile down and clean it up to 0. And then by that time, the stopes underground will be ready to supply the mill with 800 tons per day. So that should be by Q4 this year that we will have enough stopes to run consistently with 800 tons from underground.
But that must be an exciting year for you and the development of the company and its operation. But as I have understood it right, you're working on a feasibility study right now. Can you give us also an inside look in that?
So with the new updated resources, for the first time we will be able to declare reserves. So that you require a feasibility study to declare reserves. So that study will be completed at the end of March for public release, and then 45 days later we file the report. So everybody's working now to have that study done by the end of this month.
So that's an important milestone, obviously, because then you can show life of mine. Is that a correct understanding?
That's right. We have a new mine plan based on the new drilling, and we'll show a life of mine and economics.
Okay, so let's wait for those numbers, and we will see if you can go beyond 10 years or if you are below.
Well, at 800 tons per day, we have a 14 or 15 year mine life right now.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, you know, it depends if, you know, the idea is to, of course, expand the resource, which we are continuing to do, and then eventually go to 1,400 tons per day.
I'm again talking to a very important person, George Flach. He is Vice President of Exploration. He has a little bit of a German background, but we have to talk unfortunately in English. But I want to know from George, because he's the big discoverer on the asset, what it really looks like, the upside and potential, and why he believes that all those three zones are hanging together. Hi George, welcome to PDAC. Please give us a rundown from your perspective, what potential you see with the Sugar Zone deposit, with the various zones and the recent discovery you have had.
Okay. The Sugar Zone deposit is, of course, one of three main deposits: Sugar Zone, Middle Zone, and Wolf Zone. It's a series of pearls in a string, and there are many more deposits to be found here. We started with one deposit at the Sugar Zone, about 200,000 ounces. Now we're close to 2 million ounces. That's in about about 100 hectares, and we have 80,000 hectares property. So if you look at this map here, all of this bush in the distance we own, along strike and to the north and to the south. It's one of the biggest land packages in Canada and one of the highest grade gold camps, and it has a huge potential to be, 5 to 10 million ounces. So we're working on the quartz vein type deposits and also disseminated sulfide deposits like at Hemlo down the road. It's been up to 25 or 30 million ounces. So this property has fantastic potential, and we're working on that to find more deposits and open more mines. So it's a great piece of ground.
So as our president and CEO Steven said, there is a lot of potential going further. What is the plan for this year and the following years regarding of exploration?
The last couple of years we've been drilling up to 100,000 meters a year, which is a huge amount for an exploration company. We put a lot of effort and time and people into exploration, doing airborne geophysics, ground geophysics, and follow-up drilling. We're a full-scale exploration company and supported by the mine. So we'll be drilling a lot this year and doing a huge program, and we expect to make another discovery in the foreseeable future.
So could we say that the business game is here also to increase the resources in the ground, that somebody will pick up the company at one stage when it's in the 3 million range, or?
Our objective is just to improve the company and its value, but of course as we do that, then the big companies will be much more interested. Once you're 2, 3, 5 million ounces, you're a huge target. If you're high grade, you're in a stable country like Canada, there many people will be interested. It will be hard to not be taken out.
And the infrastructure is excellent, as we have shown with the site visit I have done. So there is no real hiccups for you. It's just taking the time, taking the money, put it into the ground and drill out and hopefully find additional ounces.
We have power, we have roads, we have towns, villages, and a lot of local mining personnel. It's a perfect place in the world for gold mining, and we're looking forward to improving the company and making new discoveries.
Thank you very much, George. It's a good explanation, and it looks like there is huge potential to further increase resources, reserves, and drill. That's what the company is doing. Thank you very much. It's a good explanation.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Steven, your stock is trading at 35-36 cents Canadian on the TSX. Before I left Germany, I have seen two research reports with a target of 18 cents. So why is your stock so undervalued? Why is the market not recognizing that you have such a growth profile and you can deliver a lot over the next 12 months?
I think the main reason, well, there's a couple of reasons. One is a lot of the Canadian investment has gone into the marijuana space, so that's taken a lot out of the mining sector. So until there's some profit taking in that sector and going back into the junior mining space, I think generally speaking, all the junior stocks have been quite low, depressed. But I think also people want to see how we are producing, announce 1 or 2 quarters of production, announce continued exploration success. I think exploration really drives the story now that we're producing, but also how profitable is the mine going to be.
Okay, last question. Do you have to optimize your debt structure as well going forward in this year?
We are working on that right now. I can't say much more than that, but we have some very exciting proposals on the table, and we want to have a solid financial structure going forward, as well as, of course, solid production.
Fair enough, but I would expect it's shareholder friendly, that you can deliver growth per share, and that your stock is going up hopefully soon.
Well, we don't plan on issuing equity.
That's what we want to hear.
This is a good thing. We have a number of banks that have approached us that would like to restructure our debt, and they're presenting us with some very excellent terms.
So this is a good finish and summary. I can tell our investor community, don't buy cannabis stocks. They have gone up already. Buy into the mining space. Look for junior producers like Heart Gold. It's totally undervalued. This is a high-grade mine in Northern Ontario. You can be sure Steven will deliver value, which he has done for other companies in the past. And I wish you all the best and a lot of success for 2019. And hopefully we can do an interview soon.
Wolfgang, thank you very much. I just want to let our listeners know that we are in a very excellent gold camp with other mining companies, including Barrick and Alamos and Wesdome. When Alamos took over the Richmont project, it didn't have more than we have now. And they paid $930 million for that project, which it currently would value us at about $1.50. So even though the analysts are talking 80 cents, some of them are talking $1.20. You know, we want to increase the value so that we're at least as valuable as Richmont was when they were taken over.
I cannot really add any more. Steven said how it is, real facts. This is a stock you have to really follow and buy in. Please follow the company as well. Thank you from Toronto.